video. So in today's class we are going to see the slowly changing dimensions. What is a slowly changing SCD? SCD means S stands for I'll just write here. S stands for slowly changing. C stands for changing. Oh, sorry. D stands for dimensions. So here, what is meant by slowly changing dimensions is it? If you have some data, or if you want to capture the data, like someone changed the record, or someone changed some record. What you need to do with the old record? Whether you want to save the old record, whether you want to remove the old record, or whether you don't want the change to be reflected, that all you can do. Like in order to do that, there are many slowly changing concepts. So whichever concept you want, you can utilize that. So basically, the slowly changing dimensions are divided into type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5. Most of you might have heard only 1, 2, 3. You might not heard 0, 4, 5. Okay, we'll see all. What is the type 0? Let's say I am having one table with the EMP address. EMP address. So in the EMP address, I am having EMP ID, and I have an address column. Let's say now in the type 0, when I follow the type 0, what will happen? So how can I capture the type 0? So EMP ID is 101 and address is some ABC. If I let's say the address is only A. If I update this address to B, so what will be my output? As I said, the address is A. I'll write here. If I update this address A to B, if I change that address from A to B, what will be my output? So my output will be, it is a type 0. So no changes will occur. So just it will be 101 A. Even though you updated, the updated record will not be affected. That is a type 0. Type 1, the same thing. I got the A updated to B. So what will be my output? In the type 0, sorry, in the type 1, so this is a type 0. So in the type 1, when you update A to B, so automatically it will be written as B. The old value will be overwritten, and it will be, this is a normal thing we do. This is a mostly commonly followed one. This is a type B. What is a type 2? So this is a type 1. Okay. So what is a type 2? In the type 2, if you have 101 A, and if you update address from A to B, what happens in the type 0? The output will be divided into two types. Will be have the EMP address as 101, and B, there will be also one more record for the old one. So there will be additional column called active status. Both of us, which column is active? So this is a new one, we updated one. Old one is not active, like this. So the old record will be inserted as a new record. In the type 2, whenever we do the type 2, the old record will not be removed. Here see, in the type 1, the old record is not at all there, but in the type 2, you will have the old record as a separate record, but there you will have one more column which says that which is a active record, or you can say instead of the active you may have is current. You may have one column called is current, which will have Y. Y means yes, N means no. So the 101 A is a old record, so it is not current. 101 B is a current record, so it is S. While inserting that, you are going to capture this all. Okay, and this is a type 2. What is a type 3? If I have 101, if I have A equal to B, if I updated A equal to B, so what will happen in the type 1? Sorry, in the type 3, as I add EMP ID, right? I'll have the EMP ID. I'll have the address as old underscore old, and I'll have address new. I'll have separate column for the old record and new record. So when I update A to B, what will happen? Now A becomes a old, B becomes the new address. So I am capturing that old data in the separate column in the type 3. In the type 2, I am capturing the old record, old data in the separate record. But in the type 3, I am capturing in a separate column, in the same record but in a separate column. When suppose if I update B to C, what happens? B will become the old record, and in the old it will go into the old column, and new will in the new you will get the C. That is the thing you are going to do in the type 3. What is the type 4? 101, if I have A or if I have something A or B, what happens? Yesterday we have seen the log, right? Yesterday when we did the trigger, whatever we update, whatever we insert, if we create a trigger on three columns, like we capture the update, right? Yesterday in the trigger, when we updated, automatically the updated so where did we capture that old update one and new one? We captured in other table called log table, right? Similarly, in the type 4, this is a type 3. So similarly in the type 4, when I update to B, what happens? My original table, this is the employee address, right? So my original table will have the same record. EMP ID is 101 and address will be B, new one. What will be the old? Where will be the old record? I will have one more record called EMP history, EMP address history, something like that. So that table will have the old record, and it will have the old record and new record. Like yesterday we did for the trigger, right? So it will have the EMP ID 101 A. It will have the operation, whether it is updated or inserted. You will have it as updated old, and when it is updated date 101 B, it is a updated new, and when did it updated, like the yesterday we did for the trigger, right? Same way. So now type 5 is nothing but combination of any of the above one. Okay, combination of any of them. You don't want to update that in the table. Let's say if you don't want that change should not occur, so what happens? You will use the type 0. At the same time, whatever the operation you want to do, I want to capture that instead of updating on the table, I want to capture it in a other table. So it is a combination of type 2 and type 0 and type 4. Then combination of multiple slowly changing dimension is nothing but the type 5. And we will go step by step now. Again revise. What is the type 0? Type 0 is nothing but you have the data. If you update the data, it will not reflect it. Even though if you update, it will not reflect. Still you will have the old data. Same like when we use the instead of trigger on the table. Yesterday we did instead of delete. Even though you delete, the delete will not occur, right? Same that way. This is a type 0. What is a type 1? In the type 1, when you update the old record, when I update A to B, the A will be erased, and in place of A, I will get B, and I can't see any old record now here. Okay, please give me 1 minute. Okay, I'll get and I'll go add some. 1 minute. Yeah, I'll explain. I'll go. So this is a type 1. Type 1, it will update and you will write. What is the type 2? In the type 2, what happens? It will capture whenever you update from A to B. So there will be separate record inserted from new one. Whenever you update, the old record 101 A will be as it is, and there will be one more record will be inserted 101 B. But you don't know which one. I am having 101, 101 A, 101 B. I am having two records for both 101 ID. So how can I say which one is current one? So you will be having one more column. That column will say which record is current by yes or no, true or false, like that, right? So wherever you got yes, that means that this is a current call, this is a current address. Wherever you got no, that is a old address, like that. That is type 2. In the type 3, as in the type 2 you will be inserting the separate record, but in the type 3 you will not be inserting the separate record. You will have the separate column. Which column? It will have the old column and one column for the new. Whatever the data you update, that will be in the new, and old value will be in the old column. That is for the type 3. Type 4, if you update any data, the data will be updated on the table. But whatever the data you updated, you will be loading the data into some historical table. The old values for historical you will preserve the values for the historical purpose. In the future, if you want to see which one, so instead of storing that historical, see in the type 2, that both the records are stored in a single table, but in the type 4, only the main record will be stored in the table and the old record will be stored in some historical table. Okay, that is the type 4. Type 5 is nothing but combination of multiple slowly changing dimensions. Okay, this is the slowly changing dimension concept we use, and it is nothing but it is only concept how you are going to design the tables for capturing them. Normally we will be working mostly on type 1, very rarely on the type. I worked on very rarely on the type 2, but I would like Yeah, type 2 I worked, yeah, very rare, but type 3 I never worked on the type 3. Type 4 I worked. So depends on your company. So you can just go and you can, based on that, you will be developing the tables and you will developing some logic how to capture them. That all you will be doing.